I call heaven and earth to witness against you today that I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Therefore, choose life that you and your offspring may live. Every day that we wake up, we have a choice to make. Right or wrong, it don't matter. We might make a mistake, but if we put the kingdom first, it'll all be okay. Life's a journey, life's a marathon, so they say. But if it's true, we must take it day by day. Take it step by step, letting God do the rest. Thank you, Jesus, for what you did for me. You gave me freedom that leads to eternity.
Don't let anyone define you by your L's, by your losses, by your lessons. Because that's all they are. They're lessons for you to learn from, for you to move on. You will achieve the goals that you need to achieve. The loss, lesson, learn, move on.
Take your loss, turn it to a lesson. Take your first step and watch it turn into a blessing. Never looking back because the past could bring resentment. I'm not trying to focus on the future but the present. Every time I wake up and I feel like I can make it, and if I feel like this journey getting long and hectic, I just take a deep breath and remember what my brother said.
You will make it.
How's everybody doing? How's everyone doing? Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Elijah. Man, I've been waiting for that song to get put together. It's a project I've been working on slowly but surely. I really want things to be, I said it before, I try to make things perfect, but I really wanted to make sure that project was something special, not just to me, but to my family, and just bringing Jonathan's video that he posted before he passed away into that song. And it was a blessing. It was a blessing to hear. It was a blessing to work on. So I appreciate it. John Diaz, I appreciate you, sir. He helped with that project, and he's just an amazing young man who's just continuing to grow just like the rest of us. But yeah, so today in this video, I'm gonna tap into a little bit of the nutrition and fitness in regards to trying to lose weight. I know a lot of people had asked me, hey, how can I lose weight? Or hey, listen, I'm trying to gain weight. So I want to tap into a little bit of that. I'm also going to tap into an app that I use. It's called the Runna app. It's an AI sort of app, but it also has some live coaching in there as well, which pretty much, it helps me track my marathon. It helps me, gives me weekly workouts, speed workouts, easy workouts, long runs, and it just helps prepare me for my marathon come November 30th, again in Cocoa Beach. I appreciate all the support, all the followers. Like, subscribe, share with somebody who you feel can benefit from this. I'm gonna tap right into talking a little bit about what it is to lose fat, just specifically that alone. I'll tap a little bit into gaining muscle too, but it all goes down the same side. So right out the gate, talking about whenever I ask individuals, hey, what you want to lose weight, what are some things that you'll do to start? They always say, oh, I'm going to do a lot of cardio and I'm going to cut out my carbs, no rice, no pasta, no bread, no sweets, and I'm going to eat less. So I hear these things that they're saying, and then I try to explain a little bit of the reality of what happens to the human body as those things start to unfold. So we're at a heavier weight, and at this heavy weight, we're used to doing and living a certain lifestyle. And if I'm trying to get shredded, if I'm trying to get cut, in my brain, as a newbie, as a novice to the fitness world, I think to myself, hey, I'm gonna cut out carbs, I'm gonna cut out the sweets. I'm gonna just run a lot more. I'm gonna walk a lot more. That treadmill, it sucks, but that's what I'm gonna do every single day. And obviously I just have to eat less. And a lot of that is not necessarily wrong, but I just want to clarify how our body works for any individual who may not really understand it and may benefit from this knowledge. So, number one, our main source of energy as human beings is carbohydrates. We get that from fruits, from pastas, from rice, potatoes. We do get that from bread. We do get that from candy, from sugar, from sweets. Carbohydrates is just a sugar component that helps fuel our muscles. Our muscles store carbohydrates, along with that's our main energy source. So when we wake up in the morning and we're moving and we're hopping and popping, carbohydrates are our main energy source, preferred energy source. When we tap into a depletion of carbohydrates, then we tap into using fat. We start using more of our fat for energy. We have three sources: carbs, fats, and proteins. So, excuse me, when we get into depletion of carbs, one thing I asked the gentleman, hey, what would you do? Oh, I'll cut out carbs, all carbs. Okay, so now you're cutting out your number one source of energy. And then you're stepping on a treadmill and you're increasing the amount of energy that you put out in a day. So I'm walking, I'm running, whatever that looks like. I'm sprinting on a treadmill for a minute. I'm going crazy outside, and you're increasing the calories that you burn in a day. So you go from not eating carbs, and increasing your cardio, and you're eating less. Pause. There's something called a basic metabolic rate. And what that is at rest, if I was to just sit here all day and not do anything, just sit here and breathe, in order for my heart to work, my liver to work, my lungs to work, my brain to function, my muscles to recover, whatever that looks like, that takes energy. Energy is calories. And my basic metabolic rate is the amount of calories that I burn at a rested state. So for me personally, my basic metabolic rate is about 2,400 calories. So if I was to just sit here and do nothing all day, in that one day, I'll burn 2,400 calories just by laying there. Now, as I walk around, as I start to eat things, as I start to work out, then I start to increase in my calories burned for that day. But we're not going to get into that right now. We're just going to remember that our basic metabolic rate is the calories that we burn if we don't eat, don't do anything. We just sit on the couch or sit in our bed and do nothing for 24 hours. That's what our basic metabolic rate is. Okay. So we go from, now we get no carbs. So that's not our main source of energy. So now our body has to tap into either fats or protein, right? We're eating less food, a dramatic drop in food, because we're trying to get chiseled, we're trying to get shredded, and we're increasing the amount of calories that we burn in a day by jumping on that cardio machine. So now not only are you dreading having to do the cardio, but you're not really losing any excess fat, because what happens is your body enters into a mode, it's almost like a starvation mode, where if you're in the desert and you don't have any food, your body doesn't want to burn fat because it feels like we need to store fat just in case this person doesn't have food, just in case there's a season or a moment that this person is not going to have the food that it needs to survive. So it enters into a little bit of, I call it a starvation mode, where it turns off any fat burn. So now we take out carbs, which is our number one source of energy. It tries to go to fat, but we can't go to fat as a human body because our increased calorie output and our decreased calorie input in regards to the food that we eat is so dramatically separated that it's saying to the body is saying, hey, we need fat just in case this person doesn't get enough food. So I can go from 200 pounds or 220 pounds and I drop down 10, 15, 20 pounds in a matter of a month or 2 months because I'm not eating anything and I'm burning so many calories. But then we look in the mirror and we find out, man, I've been working out. Why am I not shredded? Well, I've been trying to run on the cardio machine. I've been trying to lose weight. And yeah, you lose weight and you probably feel great about that. But our goal, I don't think our goal is to just lose weight. Our goal is to be healthy. Our goal is to live for a long time. So what sparked my journey, when my father passed away, right before his funeral, the day before his funeral, my second daughter was born, Ayana. She's 3 years old now in this current video. And it really showed me the circle of life. My father, who is having his funeral the very next night, the very next day, and the night before my daughter is being brought into this world. So God showed me the circle of life. They leave and they come. They leave and they come. As humans, that's just how it works. But it showed me, man, he'll never, at 61, he passed away, and he'll never spend time with his grandkids past my oldest. He'll never meet my son or my two daughters who were born after he passed. And it bothered me. It bothered me because at the end of the day, the whole point of this health and fitness, the whole point of being on earth is to live as long as possible, to enjoy the world, to enjoy these things, to honor God with our actions, but to enjoy this world that we get to live in for as long as possible. So if that's our goal, then we need to try to figure out what's the best option in regards to working out. Is it Pilates? Is it strength training? Is it CrossFit? There's so many different varieties, and I'm not trying to negate one or the other. What I am saying, though, is whatever you decide to do, number one, you should always try to be consistent at it. It's going to be highs, it's going to be lows. Again, some days you're going to be great and you're going to work out and eat great, and some days you're not going to work out, and some days you're not going to eat great, and that's okay. But if we're trying to focus on how do we actually become a more chiseled individual who is lean, who appreciates when they go to the beach and they take their shirt off, I'm being honest, I feel like as humans, that's one thing that we desire, the aesthetic. We desire to look good. And there's nothing wrong with that without the vanity of it, but we want to look good. So I'm trying to just give you some tips and pointers in regards to looking good. Number one, carbs are a great source for our muscles to grow. So if I was to go into the gym, I said it multiple times, but I'm going to say it again. I did it wrong. When I first went from being big, almost 300 pounds, almost 30% body fat, to 220 pounds, 12% body fat, I ran a lot, I ate a little bit, and I didn't get as much muscle as I could have. Now, in this journey that I'm in, I want to also have my muscle. I'm training for a marathon, but I'm eating almost 4,500 calories a day because I'm trying to make sure that I don't lose muscle, because I'm exerting so much calories in the day, so much energy in the day. So if I was to start again, what I would do is I would just work out my muscles. I wouldn't get on a cardio machine. I wouldn't do treadmill. Stairmaster, it's a hit or miss, but I would just focus on trying to build muscle. Our muscles burn calories. Muscle weighs more than fat. Some people have probably heard that. If you haven't, then it's true. The more muscle you have on your body, the more calories that you burn at your basic metabolic rate. So if I'm sitting here and I'm burning 2,400 calories, if I put on more muscle, then I can sit here and burn 25, 26, 2,700 calories. And then now that allows me to have a little bit more freedom in my diet, a little bit more freedom when I go out with my friends, a little bit more freedom when I'm at a birthday party or an event that I want to enjoy the food that's there, or a drink, or again, a Dunkin' coffee, or something that is enjoyable. If I want that, then sometimes I have to just put in the work for a little season to allow for my body to get to a natural state where it can just burn and be a machine and work for me instead of against me. So I would really focus on building muscle. And the main place that I would focus on building muscle is my legs. I know when we get into the gym, we want to look good in our arms. We want our chest to look good. We want to have abs. So we do sit-ups and we do curls and we do press movements or pull-ups or whatever the heck we do. But if we don't work out our legs, then our body is not going to function properly. Our legs are the biggest muscles in our body. So if we burn more calories with more muscle, why not try to build the biggest muscles in our body, our legs? And there's studies shown, and it's been proven, that our thigh muscle is connected to longevity of life. The longer you live, the bigger your thigh muscles were. So the bigger the thigh muscles you have, the longer you're expected to live. And really, that's just because the bigger your thigh muscles, the more you're able to continue to move. The more you're able to continue to move, the longer you live. So that's the gist of that. In regards to the nutrition, really don't be scared of carbs. Don't be scared of fruits. Don't be scared of your pastas and your potatoes. Rice is not a horrible one either. If we're eating straight candy bars and cakes, then yeah, that's probably not the best option. But don't be scared of your carbohydrates. Rather, use them to your advantage. Use them before you go to work out. Use them as a tool to fill your muscles if you need some filling in the muscles. And eat a high protein diet. That's what I'm on right now. I eat as much fruit as I like. Some days I have this special bread that maybe I'll show you in a video. It's called Sola, Sola. I've only found it in Walmart. I have not found it at Publix or Winn-Dixie, or those are the grocery stores around me. They have it at Walmart, though. I know they do. And it's a protein bread, and it actually tastes pretty good compared to other versions of protein style food. And it's great. There's 10 grams of protein for one slice of the Sola bread and 90 calories in one slice, which is a great ratio. If you're looking at the nutrition facts on something, and I'm just spitting all this at you, it can stick. This is a video that you can always come back and watch. If you're looking at the nutrition facts on a back label where it says calories and protein, just focus on calories and protein. Just look at the protein. I like to just recommend try to get 1 gram of protein per pound of weight. So if I'm 200 pounds, I try to get 200 grams of protein. If I'm 250 pounds, I'm trying to get 250 grams of protein. I don't get 250 grams of protein every day. I probably get anywhere from 180 to 220 grams of protein a day. Some days I do get 250, some days I get 280, and that's just because I'm really focused and I probably ate a lot of chicken, or I had a few different cheeseburgers, or whatever the case may be. But a high protein diet is going to start making sure your muscles stay there, making sure you're building muscle, making sure that you're recovering quickly so that you can work out and strengthen your body. This is a lot, and I'm gonna break it down a little bit smaller as some of these videos progress. I just wanted to give you an overall gist of what's happening. I'm gonna tap into my Inbody app, and we're gonna look at some of the differences in regards to when I first initially lost weight to the journey I'm on today, and just look at the different muscle and the different body fat. And as I transition, the last thing I'll say in this section is when you step on a scale at your let's say you go to a store and they have a scale, or you buy one from the local store and you have it in your bathroom and you step on it and all you get to see is the weight. That is not telling you everything. That doesn't tell you how much fat you have on your body. It doesn't tell you how much muscle you have on your body. It doesn't tell you the progression in which you're following. So let's tap into the Inbody. We'll get focused on breaking that down a little bit. I'm gonna also tap into my Runna app. We'll break that down a little bit, and then we'll be back. We'll close this video out and we'll go from there. All right, let's do this. All right, guys, so check me out. We talked a little bit about the Inbody scale. I'm gonna just show you some of the results and some of the statistics that it has. First, we'll start off with the Inbody score. That's just a score of letting us know, based on my height, my weight, my age, compared to other individuals who use Inbody, what the score is compared to them. I don't care about that because I don't want to compare myself to anyone. I want to be the best version of myself. So I don't ever really look at the score too much. The basic metabolic rate, that's just letting me know, again, we spoke about it a bit earlier, in regards to if I was to just sit on the couch and do nothing, don't eat, don't get up, don't open the door, just sit there. Those calories, I will be burning 2,444 calories just for my heart to pump, for my brain to work, for my muscles to recover, for my liver, my kidney, all of that functions in my body. That's what it takes to run my body, this machine that I have as a human. It takes that much calories to burn and to function. So That's what that's telling me. My weight, as you can see, I left a couple of points on here, 239, 235. Those are all from 2024, February 17th, 24, July 29th, 24. And 1 year later, July 30th, 25, I weighed in at 259.7. That's about a 20 to 25 pound increase in a matter of a year. I was still working out a bit, um, trying to put on some muscle, but I wasn't doing it in a healthy manner. And we'll go into a few different statistics so that you can see how my muscle and my fat increased over that time frame. But from this year, July 30th to October 3rd, which is a couple days ago, I went from 259.7 to 63.2, and then I dropped all the way down to 254.6. So overall, really, I probably lost about 5 pounds on the scale itself. So in a matter of August, September, 2 months, I lost about 5 pounds, which is good. It's good. But I want to get into some of these statistics here, which is skeletal muscle mass. Now, skeletal muscle mass is a muscle that is attached to our skeleton. We have a heart, that's a muscle, liver's a muscle, but it's not discussing any of that stuff. None of our organs. This is strictly our biceps, our triceps, our abs, our pectoral muscles, our quads, our glutes. Those are the skeletal muscle mass in which we're talking about here. So from a quick point out, from last year, July 29th, 2024, I had 115 pounds of muscle on my body. In a year, I gained 118 pounds of muscle in my body. And then I got locked in and I started really working out, really trying to eat 250 grams of protein a day. I was doing it wrong in the past, and people looked at my transformation. If you go on my YouTube, or if you go to my Instagram, you see how much weight I've lost and how much it really transformed. But I wish I would have done it differently. And the fact that I'm doing it differently now, it's just tremendous how much we can actually grow, how much we can actually tap into. I started running a lot, and I recently, for my birthday, tapped into some marathon running. So I know that cut a lot of the fat on my body. My nutrition has been locked in. So now let's look here. We have skeletal muscle mass and we have body fat mass. So as you see, the fat mass has just been dropping. I'm trying to get 15,000 steps a day. That's just another little hack. If you have a smartwatch, an Apple Watch, a Garmin, a Samsung watch, you should be trying to target a certain amount of steps a day. The average steps for Americans right now is about 5,000 steps a day. You need to be at 7 to 10,000 steps to start seeing some type of change in your body. Now, if you're getting into the 15,000 to 20,000, or even if you're a freak of nature and you're trying to get 25,000 steps a day, then you're going to see a dramatic change in your body composition in regards to the fat mass dropping off of your body. We have my muscle mass improved tremendously as you see it going up. My fat mass decreased tremendously as you see it going down. And this is just a testament to saying, you know what, I'm going to lock back in, but I'm going to do it the right way. I'm going to eat a high protein diet. I'm going to work out and lift heavy weights. And I'm going to make sure that I'm not tapping into any sugars and sweets if I can avoid it. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I've definitely stopped once or twice for a Dunkin' coffee. I've definitely had a couple of cookies with the family in the evening for movie nights. But I've been pretty locked in. So glory to God on that part. And over time, my body fat percentage has decreased tremendously. So in a matter of 2.5 months, I've lost I've lost about 8%. We'll call it 7% body fat. And that's just putting in work. I mean, I'm running, I'm lifting heavy, uh, and again, tapping into my protein, very, very high protein. Um, but I wanted to show you something. I wanted to show you 16.9 body fat percentage is where I'm at just a couple days ago, and 17.3 in that first bullet point from February 17th of 2024. Those two are pretty similar in regards to body fat percentage numbers, maybe 0.34 off. And it could have been anything. It could have been the way the way I took it. Did I eat in the morning? Did I not eat? Did I hydrate my muscles? Did I not hydrate my muscles? So this is about 94% accurate, give or take a half a percentage. So we'll just keep those in the same ballpark. But the reason I wanted to share that with you is because my body fat mass was about the same. It's actually a little bit higher right now at 43 pounds. That first bullet is at 41.4. So my body fat mass is higher, but my muscle mass is so much more uh, than what it used to be. 9-pound increase. So when we look at the scale, if I was to just have a bathroom scale and I was to step on the scale and I would look at, man, I was 239 and then all of a sudden now I'm 254. Oh man, I gained about 15 pounds. This is just ridiculous. This is just too much. I can't believe it. Now let's look though. Let's look. The body fat percentage is actually lower now than it was at a higher weight, 15 more pounds, and my basic metabolic rate is actually more. So now I'm able to actually, not tremendously, but I can afford a small 150 calorie snack. I can afford 150 calorie drink or iced coffee or a cookie or something that'll just please and delight myself in an evening of pleasure with the kids, or a ice cream cone or a small ice cream with the family, or whatever the case may be. I have a little bit more freedom because my calories are so much higher that are burning off of my body due to the fact that I have more muscle on my body. I would never, I would never step onto a bathroom scale and see my muscle mass or my body fat mass on a regular bathroom scale that I can get from Walmart or any local store. If I was to step on a scale from Walmart or the one that's at Publix, the Publix, it's a grocery store here in Florida. I don't know if it's in any other state, but I know it's in Florida. And you step on the scale, and that doesn't tell you about muscle. That doesn't tell you about fat. It's just about how much you weigh. A year ago, a few months ago, I was 239, and now I'm 15 pounds more. I'd be bothered. I'd be stressed. And even after putting in so much work over the past few months, I only lost 5 pounds. That's ridiculous. I've been trying to eat right. I've been going to the gym. I've been running. I've been not eating any of the snacks, and I only lost 5 pounds. But what I didn't see is the muscle improvement, the body fat being removed, the body fat percentage going down. Guys, I'm telling you to stay away from any of those scales that we may use from Walmart, the basic scales that you step on in the bathroom. You see your weight, you get discouraged. You put in so much work for a month, 2 months, 3 months, and you only lost 3 or 4 pounds, but you don't even realize that you lost body fat and put on muscle. You can gain 5 pounds of muscle and lose 5 pounds of fat. Step on a scale and you still be that same weight that you were, that, let's say, at 250, and step on the scale 2 months from now and still be 250 and be like, damn, I've been putting in work. I've been in the gym. I've been running. I've been eating right. I'm still 250. Come on, guys. Don't step on the scale. Don't focus on the scale. Focus on feeling better, focus on improving your performance, focus on trying to do the best you can with every decision in regards to your nutrition. Don't focus on counting calories and making it too hard for yourself. Just every day, try to make the best decision you can with every meal you get and every workout you do, and just try. Day by day, you'll get better and better. I wanted to share that with you. I'm going to tap into my Runna app. This app is called Runna. Now, this app is the app I've been using for my marathon prep. As you can see, it's my recovery day, so I didn't do anything today. I have some runs coming up. I'm going to tap into my overall plan. This has been going on for a couple of weeks. I started officially on September 3rd. My birthday was September 14th. I really wanted to sign up for this marathon, so I took initiative. I did sign up for the marathon November 30th, and this is walking me through every single workout week by week to get me prepared for my marathon on November 30th. So let's look. September 13th, the day right before my birthday, I had a 6.5 mile run. I ran that in 59 minutes, 19 seconds at a pace of 9:06 per mile. Average heart rate 145. Following weekend, I had a 7.5 mile run. Finished that in an hour, 5 minutes, and 49 seconds. Average pace 8:45. Average heart rate 150. Now this app, it gives you different speed workouts. You can see this is a 1K. I have to run 6.2 miles at an 8:10 pace. 1 mile warm up. Easy runs, it says easy run. 800 meter repeats. Over under miles. Easy runs. These are I just literally do whatever it tells me to do. This was the other weekend. I had a 9.5 mile run. I finished that in an hour, 27 minutes, and 11 seconds. Average pace of 9:10 per mile. Average heart rate 144. Guys, this was the longest run I've ever ran in my life. I was nervous to run it. I was honestly very nervous to run it. I thought I was going to walk a few times, but it helped to run that because it made me realize the work I'm putting in is going to pay off. I got a little bit tired. I pushed through. And then I entered this past week, September 29th through October 5th. It's called a deload week. I've been running crazy miles per week, so it sent me on a deload week. I only ran about 15 miles this week. Yesterday I had a run I completed in the morning, 6 miles in 51 minutes at an 8:29 pace. Average heart rate of 141. If I go in here, I can definitely remember the purpose of this run, especially during your deload, is to build your anaerobic rate, not to push yourself. It's perfectly okay to start slower and maintain steady, more manageable paces. Focus on this will help you recover and prepare for upcoming runs. It said, great to hear that your run went well. However, it looks like you ran a little bit faster than the conversational pace throughout your long run, especially as you got towards the end. So what that means is I was running at a certain pace, and because I wanted to hurry up and get done, I was tired of running. I just wanted to hurry up and finish. I pushed faster than the pace that I needed to. So what it's telling me is I need to slow down. I need to work on just controlling that pace, because in a marathon, if I come out hot in the beginning, in the middle, even towards the latter middle, and I'm pushing myself faster because I feel like I'm good, I feel good, and I push myself to go faster than I'm supposed to, I'm going to drain my body, and I'm going to do something called a bonk. A bonk is where you do not finish the race. So I can run 20, 22 miles, 24 miles. And if I don't get to 26.2 miles and cross the finish line, then there will be a bonk. Did not finish. Did not finish. So if we're comparing this marathon race to life, and if people say life's a marathon, then we have to think about something. Are we running at the right pace? Because when I get out there come November 30th, there's going to be some fast individuals. and they're probably going to run it at 6-7 mile paces, finish in 2:30, 3 hours. There's some that may finish in 4, 5, 6 hours. They give us 7 hours to finish the race. My goal is to run 26.2 miles in under 4 hours. You just saw my Inbody. I'm a little bit of a heavier dude. I'm bigger as a human compared to other individuals who run marathons. My goal is to be about 220, 225 on marathon run day. But my goal is to finish the race and finish it fast. Go and finish under 4 hours. When Paul in the Bible talks about fight the good fight of faith, finish the race. We got to finish the race. And sometimes we have to make sure that our pace is the pace in which we need to work on. I think in a video upcoming, I'm going to talk about something that me and my little brother talked about in regards to pace. We got to make sure that we're focused on what pace we are specifically supposed to run our race. This upcoming week, I have back to reality running, 27 miles scheduled for the week. Next weekend, I have a 12-mile practice race. Let's see what it got. So I have 3.5 at a conversational pace. I have 6 miles at an 8:40 pace. And if you can see right under that, it says your target marathon pace. So that's the target speed that they have me running for my marathon in order to get a sub 4-hour marathon. So I'm going to get some times and just slot that in and make sure that I'm running at a pace that's comfortable. And I'm getting used to running at that speed, getting used to trotting and getting a rhythm at that speed. So I got 6 miles and then a 2.5 mile cool down at a conversational pace. Overall, again, that's 12 miles. They're thinking I'm going to run that in either an hour 40 or 2 hours, depending on what speed I run. And there it is. November 30th, marathon race, 26.2 miles. I'm excited, guys. I'm excited. So if you have been thinking about trying to get into running and you don't know really where to start, this Runna app, it's very beneficial. In 9 weeks, it's predicting I run my race in 3 hours, 45 minutes or 3 hours and 52 minutes, somewhere in that range, which is sub 4. So I'm hoping that my pace just stays focused, that I run, that I'm not going to get injured, that I'm focused on what I need to focus on. And I'm excited. I'm excited. Looking at some of this stuff, I'm just tapping on it so anybody who's interested in the app can see. It has something that it's AI generated. So after every run, it populates something and makes sure that your pace is on point. That gray area there just telling you what pace you should be on. And those blue dots tell you if it's faster or slower reps or how it's supposed to be. And based on that, it says, hey, listen, you need to slow down, or hey, you need to speed up. And again, look, interval run, easy run, tempo run, easy run, long run. Saturdays are my long days, 14 miles, 17 miles. Deload week got me a 8.5 mile. I'm pretty sure I'm going to enjoy that one. 20 mile, my goodness, 14 mile, 9 mile, and 26.2 miles leading up to November 30th. So there it is, Inbody. I know that was a little bit of a lot, and I hope I didn't confuse anyone. I just pray that you're able to see that it's not so much the weight on the scale, but it's the muscle mass, the body fat mass, and we really have to focus on just increasing our muscle. If we increase our muscle, we burn excess calories. If we increase our muscle, we look better, we feel better, we're able to be stronger, not only be stronger, but allowing our bodies to move in a way that it hasn't moved in either quite some time or move in a way that we've been wanting to move. So there's that. The Runna app for anyone who has really looked into some long distance running or a 5K or a 10K, whatever that may look like for you, and you feel like, man, I don't know where to start, I don't know where to go. I am not sponsored by them, but for me, that app has helped me a lot. So that's that. I pray that as we continue this journey, whatever knowledge or whatever I go through in life or experience, I just want to give it back via this channel and allow for somebody to get help, whether it's one person, two people. I'm not looking for any major views, but I do want to share. I do want to help. I do want to encourage and invoke us to become the best versions of ourselves. Again, if you feel like somebody could benefit from this information and somebody can grow with me and with you, then like, share, subscribe, and again, share it with somebody who you feel, hey, listen, just check this channel out. This guy, he really just wants to break it down for you and make it easy, and make it simple and allow for us to grow together. Again, when I first did it, it was just a journey of trying. I just tried anything. I did a lot. I just ran a lot. I ate literally nothing sometimes. I remember during that season of transition for my birthday, my wife made me a cake that was watermelon, and then she put some Cool Whip and some fruits for decor. And it blessed me because I saw that she was with me, that she was rocking with me, and she was encouraged to keep me on the right path. So it's good to have people in our circle that are focused with us. They're willing to put forth energy for us. And it's been a journey. It's been a lot. And I just wanted to tap into part of my season. I know that in my last video, I talked about in a matter of a year and a half, I lost my daughter, my little brother, and my father. And I wanted to tap into a season that was sort of the embarkment of this whole journey. In 2020, I got out the military towards the end of the year, officially in January of 2021. And we moved to North Carolina. My brother, I said, he moved out there, so we moved with him. And then they got a great opportunity to just advance their family, and they moved away. And my wife and I were there for quite some time. But as I transitioned out of the military, alcohol wasn't my friend. And while I was in the military, I drank quite a bit. And when I got out the military, my wife really didn't appreciate me drinking. It was something that she felt like she didn't want me to do. She didn't like how I would act when I was drinking. And when I drank, to be very honest, it wasn't so casual. It was like, if we're drinking, then let's get drunk. And I transitioned from my addiction to alcohol to smoking, and I started smoking marijuana, and I started smoking weed, and it transitioned because I felt like I can hide the smell better. So when I would come home and I was drunk, or if I come home and I drank, my wife would instantly just smell the alcohol on my breath, and she'd be like, oh my gosh, like, it's disgusting. I don't even want to lay next to you. And it hurt our relationship a little bit. I mean, a lot of it, a lot of it. But I felt like, okay, then let me start smoking. And I started smoking, and I stopped caring. And when I got out the military, there was so much that happened in my life in so many different moments that I felt like, you know what, I'm gonna just sort of chill. Like, I'm tired of stress in life. I'm tired of dealing with this world. I'm tired of everything that took place. And I started smoking. And to be very honest, I think that's one of the biggest reasons that I got so big was people think, or people say, like, when you smoke, you get the munchies. And what they don't realize is that our hunger and our thirst glands are one and the same, which means, like, my body can feel like, oh, you're hungry, but realistically, you're just thirsty and you need something to drink. That's why it's important to make sure we're hydrated, drinking our water throughout the day so that we don't confuse hunger and thirst. Because again, those thirst and hunger glands, they act as one and the same. So when you smoke, your mouth gets really dry. You get all that cotton mouth, and people, because they're under a certain influence, it tends to make them think, man, I really need food. I want to eat something. I want to eat. And then you just eat and eat and eat. And you get the munchies and you eat and eat and eat. When realistically, you're thirsty because your mouth is so dry and it's cotton mouth. And it's like, bro, we need water. Like, I need something to drink. I'm thirsty. That's really what it is. And there's been a mistake of, not a mistake, it's just people call it the munchies because you don't drink water. Nobody wants to drink water when they're high. They'd rather eat. So I think that's one of the biggest reasons I got pretty big when I got out the military. And I transitioned from an addiction, because I had an addiction, to alcohol. And my addiction became marijuana. And I would hide it from my wife. And I found these dab, it's like a dab pen. And pretty much it was like a wax that I would be able to smoke. And my wife wouldn't smell anything. I'd go outside, or I'd go to the backyard, or I'd be out of the house and I'd come home. And it was cool for a while. But in this season, God was really trying to draw my attention. And I grew up, both my parents were pastors. I grew up in church all my life. I was setting up church, breaking down church, going to different events. I remember vividly going to pick up food with my father in this big church van with all the seats taken out. And we would just pull up on a neighborhood and just be like, hey, on a megaphone, we got food, come get some. And we would load the bags and then we would give them out, and my father would just be talking to someone, shake their hand, tell them how much Jesus loves them, while I'm in the van, like loading. And then I give him the bag. And then by the time I give him the bag, he would shake their hand and say, see you later. Then he'd talk to the next family. And while he's just entertaining them with the love and joy of Jesus Christ, I was in the van, like sweating and trying to get all the stuff in the bag. And these memories are cool memories, but when I got older, I started stiff-arming it. I, again, began to drink so heavily. And as I got out the military, God was trying to draw my attention. And I don't think I was paying very much attention. In fact, as I look back now, I know I wasn't paying attention. I didn't really care. I didn't want to hear anything that God was telling me. And I remember in this season, he was trying to invoke me. I remember a series that I started watching with Michael Todd from Transformation Church called Crazy Faith. And I'm learning a little bit, but I'm still smoking and I'm still sort of chilling. And I'm still like, okay, God, like, I get it, bro. But like, life is what it is. And I remember we were driving on the highway one time, my little brother and I, and my newer car, it was probably like 3 years old. It was a newer, but I don't remember the actual year of the car, but it was a newer car. And we were on the highway and it just broke down out of nowhere. And we got it towed and they said, hey, you had a oil leak, and long story short, the engine locked and you need a new engine. And I was like, what the heck? And I sort of got mad at God, and I was like, man, God, like what's going on? Like, I get it. Like, I'm not living the best life, but you don't got to do all this, whatever. And in that season, my wife and I found out that we were pregnant, and it was cool. And I was like, you know what, whatever. A few months after that, my dog, I had 2 Yorkies, Blue and Magenta. And Magenta, my female dog, she ended up getting hit by a car. And I remember it vividly, the night I let them outside. I usually let them in the backyard. She got to the front yard and a car drove and just clipped her head. And I went out looking for her, and then I ended up finding her in the road. And I grabbed her, and it was like a movie scene. Like, it started raining, and I told God, like, you want me to have faith, God? If you really want me to love you the way you tell me to love you, then prove it to me. Bring her back to life. Bring her back to life. And I remember like just crying and being like, God, this is whack. Like, I hate this. It sucks. And then I ended up burying her in the backyard and just continued sort of my stupidity in regards to smoking and not really caring about anything. This series, by the way, with Crazy Faith, I think it was like 17 weeks long. So it sort of went along with my journey for a few months. And I remember like I'm trying, and we find out that my daughter, who at the time I believe she was 6 months inside of my wife, so already about to enter into the third trimester, and I remember we found out she was sick. And then I felt like, okay, God, like, I don't know what you want from me. I'm tired of all this pain that's coming towards me. I don't want to make you. I just felt like he was punishing me for some reason. I felt like he was punishing me, and it was a lot. It was a lot. And I remember one time I was praying to God, and I was like, God, like, I know that I'm opening doors for the enemy. Like, my actions are opening doors. God wants to protect me. He says, if we abide in the shadow of the Almighty God, then he will be our defender. He will protect us. And if we move out of that covering, then he can no longer protect us. If we separate ourselves from his will, if we separate ourselves from being obedient to what he wants us to do, if we pull ourselves away from him, then he no longer gets to protect us and give us that covering. And he was showing me that in that season. And I remember one time I was helping my father move out of the house that we grew up in. And it was me, my little brother Jariah, and my father. And my dad was like, hey, let's just pray. I really want us to just close out this chapter. The house was empty. We just put a song on a little speaker that we had for moving. And we just were praying. And I was high. And I started praying and I started worshiping. And I remember crying. And I was like, God, like, I don't want this life anymore. I don't want to deal with this anymore. And I was battling heavy with pornography and masturbation. And I said, God, I don't want to do that anymore. I'm tired. And I'm screaming at the top of my lungs in the house. And I remember like it was yesterday. And it's like, God, if it's real, if you're real, like, let me feel you. And then I just felt it like a burden, just like, whoosh, like it literally like came off. And I was just started bawling, crying. And again, I was high, and I ran out to the car and I grabbed the thing. I had like a dab pen in the car, and I grabbed it and I told my dad, like, Dad, if I'm gonna be free, then I'm gonna be free for real. And I put it in his hand. I'm like, I'm done with this. I'm done with masturbation. I'm done with pornography. I'm done with this world. And then it was just a good moment after that. I just worshiped for a little longer. And then it was about 2 weeks later, on May 14th of 2021, we found out that the baby, we went for a sonogram, and the baby had passed away inside of my wife. And in that moment, it was a lot of emotions, a lot of craziness happening. And we went to the hospital and they induced her, and she had to give birth to this baby. And it's called a stillbirth. And my wife had to put labor, and I had to watch my wife go into labor and push and push and push for no reward. And I prayed and I lifted her to God, and I said, God, I know she's in heaven with you. And from this moment forward, I choose to serve you for real, and I'm never going back. And I remember listening to a preaching a couple days after that of Tony Evans, and he was talking about those old glass piggy banks where there was just a slice on top, and you would put your valuables in there. And the only way that you would get them out is you would turn it upside down and shake it. And sometimes it wouldn't come out. So if you really wanted those valuables bad enough, you'd vigorously try to shake it. And sometimes those valuables still wouldn't come out. And sometimes if you really wanted those valuables, you would grab a hammer and you would break the piggy bank. And what God showed me was he put valuables inside of me. And he wanted them so bad to be produced into this world because of who he wants me to be for his kingdom. And I was stubborn, and I wasn't allowing those valuables out. And the car situation on the highway was that upside down, just a shaking. And I wasn't paying attention, and I was still being stubborn, and I was still being rebellious. And he had to get to a point where he really tried to shake me vigorously. And that's when Magenta passed away. And I was still being stubborn and being foolish and acting ridiculous in my actions. And God needed those valuables so much that he took a hammer and he broke that piggy bank and he broke my heart. And because of my actions, because of the doors that I opened to the enemy, my baby girl passed away. And she's in heaven right now. And I'm not mad. And for some reason, I give glory to God because of the grace and mercy that he has on my life. Because he could have killed me. He could have allowed the enemy to take my wife. He could have allowed the enemy to take my oldest daughter, who I already had a relationship with. But that was a breaking point for me. And those valuables came out. And I'm not perfect by any means today. And I definitely have my flaws. And I definitely continue to say, God, heal me, protect me, remove anything of me that's not you. And even to this day, like, there's temptations that come left and right. And I have to try to stiff arm them. I have to try to say, no, 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 no. But I want to encourage people. Sometimes in life, there's little shakings and vigorous shakings that come, and God's trying to get our attention. And sometimes we don't pay attention. And I pray that we don't let it get to a breaking point, because no matter what, we're going to be okay. The Bible tells us that he works everything out for the good of those who love him. And no matter what, we're going to be okay. But it doesn't have to get that far. It doesn't have to get to a breaking point. It doesn't have to get to a vigorous shaking. We can see the warnings early. We can see the different shakings that happen in our life, and repent and turn and do what we need to do. So that's just a little bit into the world of Elijah, a little bit into the life of Elijah. And I pray that my story helps someone. If you don't appreciate it, if you don't care to listen, or if you feel some type of way, then okay. But I know that someone's watching this and someone's going to hear this. And I pray that you understand that you will make it, that life is hard and it's a journey. And sometimes we don't know what to do. And sometimes we don't know where to go. But Jesus loves you. He wants you. And he's ready to help you in any aspect of your life. Guys, I love you. I'm thankful if you've got this far in the video. I pray that we continue to become the best versions of ourselves. And remember that every day we're given an opportunity to affect our tomorrow. I pray we choose life and live. I love you guys. Peace.